If you think the price of winning is too high, wait till you get the bill from regret. And that bill from regret is generational.
If you think the price of winning is too high, then wait till you get the bill of regret, and the bill of regret is generational. Winning is also generational, but it will also depend on other people winning. But losing, that one is by default. If you don't do anything, you lose. Actually, life is set up in a way that you are meant to lose. If you don't do things, the default is that you lose. Usipopiga job vile inafaa, usipojituma vile inafaa, the default is that you lose. Losing is the easiest thing to do. But winning, there is a price to it. And if you're not willing to pay the price, then the bill of regret is much, much more biting.
When you can't control what's happening to you, control how you respond to it. That's where your power is.
When you can't control what's happening to you, control how you respond. So many bad things or good things are going to happen to you. They are not within your control. You can't do anything about them. But once they happen, your power lies in how you respond to things. It's how you do things. It's not what happens to you. It is what you make happen, right? So I think that's also a good piece of
bravery is not the absence of fear. Bravery is feeling fear and moving forward anyway.
Awesome. Bravery is not the absence of fear. I do agree with that. When you were young, ukitumwa kwa shop, ukienda, you were fearful. But somehow ulienda ukijimbia tu wimbo hapo hivyo ukijimotivate, and you got to the shop and came back, and that's how you cultivated your bravery. It's not because you have never feared, and the fact that you can walk around today at night and not even think about it, you're brave enough. It's because you faced the fear in the first place. So yeah, it's not the absence of fear. So get out there. If you think like there are things you want to do and you can't get it in you to do them, just go ahead and do them. And then once you get to doing, you cultivate that which. This reminds me of a video by Morgan Freeman. He says, if you pray to God to give you patience, do you think God is going to give you patience? Or he's going to give you a situation where you have to practice patience, which is a tempting situation. And that's how we build ourselves in life. So you have to be able to face this thing. So it's not the absence of fear, it is the doing it anyway, even with the fear. That's what bravery is. So that's a good one too.
The greatest version of you is not the I can do anything version of you. The greatest version of you is the disciplined version of you. The greatest version of you is the version that has parameters. No, I don't do that. I don't drink that. I don't go there with these people. I'm focused.
2 words in that whole video: discipline, focus. Discipline is all about boundaries. When you have discipline, you know what to do and what not to do. And I think for most of us, what we lack is discipline, because we can't get things done. We can't focus our energies in one particular place. A friend of mine gives a very good example. The sun is a very huge planetary piece out there. It lights Earth and gives us all the energy. It cannot do much because the highest degrees than Ishaikuwa recorded around 50 something degrees somewhere. But if you just take a magnifying glass and focus that energy of the sun, you can actually start a fire. And that's the thing about light. There is a lot that can happen within you. You have 24 hours in your day. What matters is what sort of focus are you putting in to be able to produce the results that you're looking for. You can't spend the day just helter-skelter all around and expect to have something. And that's why discipline is important, because discipline helps you to carve out the unimportant things and narrow down to what you want to do, and then focus right into it. And just like a magnifying glass, just might be the spark you're looking for to be able to be successful. Yes. So yeah, I like that.
It feels scary to jump, Ian. That is exactly when you jump. Otherwise, you end up staying in the same place your whole life.
Cool. When it feels scary to jump in, that's exactly when you jump. Because the moment you second guess that, then you never jump. Because so many other scenarios play out in your head. And I think I know I have been caught up in a lot of that when you're thinking, I need to do this, I need to call this person, but you're holding it back, you're holding yourself back. There's a lot that you can do. So, yeah, when you think this is the time to do it, just go ahead and do it. I know probably when people want to go into entrepreneurship and they're employed, and the moment happens, and you're like, I should get to business right now, I should get out there and do it. And then they second guess it, and then they're 5 years into still employment that they don't enjoy, but they still think they can do this other thing. And the thing is, probably you'll make that decision and it will go so wrong. It will go so wrong. You will suffer. So many things will go bad. But the moment you make that decision, you start the journey in the right direction. And eventually you will figure it out. I'm not saying that when you jump, you go to the other side and it's greener pastures all of a sudden. No, not at all. You'll have to pay the price. So it's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. But you do it anyway. Like we've just said, you do it anyway in that moment when you know this is the time.
What if we have that kind of attitude? The car's repossessed. Nobody believes in you. You've lost again and again and again. The lights are cut off, but you're still looking at your dream, reviewing it every day and saying to yourself, it's not over until I win.
It's not over until I win. I think that's one of the most difficult things to do, because I know, just like I said, life has to test you. It has to check this dream that you have. Do you really want it, or you're just expressing that it's something that you'd like? It's nice to have. And that's not how dreams work. If your dream has to come true, you have to really, really want it. And life has to test that. And that's why you find many people become complacent as you're growing up, as you're learning to pay bills and have jobs and do this and do that, have children. You realize that probably you start becoming complacent and you stop chasing the dream and you start surviving. So that's one of the things. And that's living the dream. That's why we are here. We are here to encourage people to keep pushing towards that dream, because it is in your dream that you find that you become happy, you become successful, and you become fulfilled. But with a job, you just get by. And if your dream is to get a certain type of a job, then that's what you're going for, because that's what is going to give you that. So don't allow yourself to just settle there. Say, I won't give up. It's not over until I win.
But remember, dreams without goals are just
Denzel
dreams.
Washington, dreams without goals are just dreams. Totally agree with him. I know I was speaking to some students somewhere, and we had a class calculation. They told me that some of the best cars they would like to drive. And we were like, how much do you think is cost to fuel such a vehicle in just a single day? And then we extrapolated that number to a month. And if that is the price you're going to be spending to drive around in that type of a vehicle, how much money do you think you're going to be making? And then you realize the type of people that are making that much money in this country that we have, and this is just pure statistics, is somewhere on top of like 15% of these people. So then that means you're like top when you have these dreams. And it's good to have these dreams. It's good to want to drive that much. It's good to want to live in such places, but you have to concretize it. And having goals and dreams is you concretizing that particular bit. It's you saying, this is where I'm going to start. This is where I'm going to go to. Another quote I remember that's has been very impactful is, we underestimate what we can do in 10 years, we overestimate what we can do in a year. So you think you have time, but then you don't have a lot. And then when you realize that you have not done much in a year, you also tend to give up quite fast. So make sure you're setting these goals right and you have perspective and you're going above and beyond to see that they're going to happen. Don't just dream it. Make sure you're planning it, you're doing it. It's actually happening.
Never met anybody who became incredibly successful in any area of their life until they had suffered and sweated and sacrificed and kept their focus and fought through tears and trials and tests. And if you have a dream and you commit to it, it will come to pass.
And if you have a dream and you commit to it, it will come to pass. Think of your dream as a bush. So you want to be a farmer. You've been given a piece of land, but it has never been cultivated. It has been a forest. There's all this bush, there's all these trees. And within it, you can look at it and you can see that there is actually a thriving farm in there. So success is you digging out the tree stumps. It's you cutting down the weed. It's you dealing with the thorns. It's you dealing with everything that comes with like a forest. There will be animals in there, some snakes and everything. That's what success is all about. Like you handed this piece of land, but it has never been cultivated because it is your dream. No one has ever done that dream before. No one has ever lived it. So it's up to you. You need to figure out how do you do that. And it's going to be testing. It's going to cost you sweat. It's going to cost you blood. It's going to cost you everything that you have. And at some point, you'll be going in there and digging out the stumps and starting to prepare the land, and you'll feel like it's not worth it. You'll want to quit. But then you take a step back and you look at it and you're like, damn, there's some beautiful land here. We can cultivate some amazing things here. And that's the thing with your dreams and with success. You have to get in there. You have to push it. You have to make sure that it takes a lot. It takes a lot. It takes a lot. So you have to get in there and do it. Get in there and do it. It takes a lot, but it's doable.